Hello, fellow booktubers. My name is Dee. Welcome to the Reading Room. Today I'm doing a book haul video from Yuma, Arizona. I'm currently in Arizona visiting family as a road trip, and I always hit some of the thrift stores, and there's no bookstores, but there's a couple of opportunities to get books. So I'd like to share with you what I've picked up. I'm pretty much done shopping for books during my time here. So one of the first books I found was What to Listen For in Music by Aaron Copland. It's a series of essays about listening to classical music and some other types of music. I'm a huge fan of classical music and opera, so this was definitely a good find for me. There was a receipt in here for this. This book was purchased in 2017 at the BYU bookstore in Utah, and that was kind of cool because I spent 17 years in Utah, so it was kind of interesting to find that receipt in there. I picked up The Awakening the Buddha Within by Lama Suryadas. He is a Western or American Buddhist, one of the foremost Buddhists, according to the book anyway. So just a book about Buddhism. I consider myself a Buddhist, so definitely something to enjoy. And this batch of books I'm doing right now, I got at Goodwill's, 2 or 3 different Goodwills that we visited. Brandon Sanderson, Shadows of Self. It's part of the Mistborn series. It is book 5. I don't have book 4. I've only read book 1, but I did enjoy the Mistborn series. So quick, easy find. Definitely something I wanted to pick up. Picked up Sanctuary by Will Faulkner. I've read a couple of his novels. Just kind of cool find. I like these vintage international versions of the books with the gold. I have a few of them. So when I come across these, I do try to pick them up because I just like how they look. I picked up The Rape of Nanking by Iris Chan. It is about the Japanese and some of the atrocities that they committed during World War II. So definitely a piece of history that I've seen documentaries on this, and one of the documentaries I believe was based on this book, so I think it's going to be a good read. Picked up Basic Writings of Existentialism. Definitely a topic of philosophy that I'm interested in. I used to have one of these at one time, and I wasn't able to locate it, so this was a good find for me. Picked up one of Franz Kafka's most famous stories, The Metamorphosis, which is about Gregor Samsa wakes up, finds himself turned into a vermin. This is the Norton Critical Edition, which is kind of cool. I've never looked through a Norton Critical Edition. If you saw my video about Moby Dick, I discussed the second time that I read the novel is going to be the Critical Edition for all the footnotes that are along as you read the book. I don't like having to go to the back of the book for footnotes, especially if there's extensive footnotes. I am getting ready to read Franz Kafka's canon of work. I'm currently reading a biography by him. He's one of my semi-annual authors that I chose this year to read. I got the collected novellas of Gabriel Garcia Marquez. The reason I bought this, because I have quite a few of his collected novellas, but it matches the, which one does it say here? It's the Perennial Classics version, which my 100 Years of Solitude is a Perennial Classic version. So I got it because it matched. So I like having matching editions of books if possible, because I like how they look on the bookshelf. And then it was very interesting. I think somebody got rid of their Agatha Christie collection because I was able to pick up 3 books by Agatha Christie. And then there were none which I have already read. I had another copy of it, but since it matched these versions of books that I have not read by Agatha Christie, which is Ordeal by Innocence and Passenger to Frankfurt. I discovered Agatha Christie last year, the year before. Really enjoyed the few stories I read by her. So I thought these would be kind of cool to pick up, quick, easy reads in the mystery department. Next book I'm going to show you, I actually picked up at Barnes & Noble. We do not have a Barnes & Noble where I live, so I always try to pop in Barnes & Nobles when I can. I like looking at the bargain book section, but this was on the new release table, so I picked it up. It is, and I don't know how to pronounce the name very well, Asako Yuzuki. It's called Butter. What drew me to it says it's a novel of food and murder, and it is inspired by the real case of a convicted con woman and serial killer. She used dating sites and her home cooking to lure men in, con them out of money, and in essence murder them, from what I believe. But this is inspired about that. It's about a reporter who's trying to get a scoop by her. The lady who is in jail is not speaking to reporters, but what the reporter does is she asks for a recipe for beef stew, and that starts their dialogue. I've already started it. I'm about 150 pages in, and it's a little bit slower of a pace of read, but I am enjoying it. It's got themes about misogyny, and then the differences between men and women, how they're viewed. So far, a very good read. I'm looking forward to finishing this up, and I probably will do a review video of this on its own. All right, the last set of books I'm going to go over, we went to a special fundraising type of flea market. There was probably about 1,000 different tables there, and they had a few tables of books. So I picked up Rendezvous with Rama by Arthur C. Clarke. This is one of the first books I read that got me back into reading, one of the first series I've read. The director that has directed the Dune movies, Denis Villeneuve, is on tap to direct this. And this was I have a hardback copy of this, but I figured I'd pick up one of the softback copies to read as the movie gets closer so I can reread it. The other book I picked up was Leo Tolstoy, A Signature on a Portrait, highlight of Tolstoy's thoughts. If you saw my video about the books I use to journal, one of the books I use is called A Calendar of Wisdom by Leo Tolstoy, in which he has just collected all these quotes from his numerous sources along with his own lines of thought, and has a daily entry every day with several of his quotes. So I picked this up, and it's similar, but it's just strictly his thoughts. Lots of pictures, and this was a neat looking book, so I wanted to pick it up. I'm become more curious about Leo Tolstoy since reading or working in the Calendar of Wisdom. So I do believe not only reading this, I might pick up War and Peace and Anna Karenina to read those, which they're very hefty reads, so I don't know when I'm going to fit those in. This was a great find. Daniel Okrent wrote a book called Last Call, and it's about the rise and fall of Prohibition. Prohibition is just a great topic to read about, how we banned alcohol and then all the bootlegging and things. So I am really looking forward to this. This probably will go on my April TBR list, if not sooner, because it's a beautiful looking book. And each time I look at it, I kind of want to open it up and crack it and start reading it. But I've been working on some other nonfiction books. So before I get to this, I'm going to finish those. The find of the trip at this fundraiser flea market is a hard copy version from 1970, Gabriel Garcia Marquez's 100 Years of Solitude. I've always loved this cover. The cover itself is taped up. It's not in very good condition. However, the hardback book itself is in very good condition. So this is going to be a display copy. I have told myself I want to collect several editions of this book, and I'm actually regretting it because I did find a Spanish version of the novel at Goodwill, but I, for some reason, put it back. I don't know why. But this was actually the first book I found. I probably could have left right then and there and been happy. But yeah, definitely a great find. I can't wait to get home and display this with my books. So that's my book, all of the things I found while I was visiting family in Yuma. On the way back, we're going to stop at a used bookstore in La Cruces, New Mexico. I didn't get a chance to stop there on the way because they were closed by the time we got settled in the hotel, ate dinner. But it is the largest bookstore in New Mexico, so I'm definitely looking forward to going there and seeing what I find. And I think that'll probably merit a video of all its own. Looking forward to getting home and incorporating some of these in my collection. So thanks for watching the video, and I hope your next read is a wonderful read. Thanks.